Man, that felt like a big win against Everton after what was an ugly game of football largely. Sesko delivered again. What a finish from him after a blistering counter-attack. Lammens put in his best performance of the season. Superb up against the melees in the box. 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw, 3 points off third now, and a goal difference of plus 11. Yeah, it's Carrick, you know, and I'm loving it. Isn't it nice to be watching Manchester United not once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times undefeated against Carrick, 5 wins, 10 undefeated in the last 10 games, 3 points. I mean, look, I'm enjoying myself. And I think there was plenty to, maybe not plenty to enjoy from that game last night. But I'm going to speak about 5 things we learned. I'm going to speak about Senne's performance, Sesko's goal, that counter-attack. Also, United winning ugly. It's a new way of winning, I suppose, under Carrick. Let's see what goes on next. But first things first, as I said there, it was a big win. And it was a bit of an ugly win. Because it was a bit of an ugly game because Everton had no intention of really playing football in that game. They didn't. There was a period where they kind of got a bit more, but no. It was all about the corners. Anyway, United are now 10 unbeaten. United, as Carrick spoke after the game, said it was a tough game for us last night. It really was. I don't think United could play like that every single week and expect to win. It was an incredible performance from Senne. But United will take some lessons from that. And I'll speak about the lessons from the low block towards the end of this video. But United are now 3 points off third place. And we were 11 points, I think, off third about 6 games ago. That's how much of a difference has been made in these first 6 games. And Carrick really has got this team cooking in terms of results. And that's all that matters, really, I suppose. Although performances too. Speaking about performances, boom. Can we just sit here and have a conversation about Senne, please? Because it was spectacular, man. I know you can overhype performances and overhype individuals, and there's no other way I can describe that performance from Senne against Everton. It wasn't once, it wasn't twice, it wasn't even 3 or 4 times. I think they had 10 corners, at least 10 corners. And they were just, it was ugly, it was wrestling, they were just trying their best. But Senne had an answer to every single question. Michael Keane shooting for 30 yards, boom, tipped that over the bar. Corners, boom, punch, boom, punch, boom, punch, boom, claim, punch, can't get through, clean sheet. Look, Cobby went on Instagram after and joked, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on this because it's not just a Manchester United problem, it's a Premier League problem, and it's just embarrassing, really. Everton were embarrassing. That's all they were trying to do, effectively what Arsenal made one of their greatest weapons, but Senne stood up to every single challenge that he had. After the game, he was like, oh, by the way, yeah, I love that game. These are my sorts of games. You know, I was a bit busier. City, I know that was our best performance, but for me, it was that game against Everton, and we got it right, man. We got it right. We made a, you might argue it wasn't a difficult decision considering how much Emi Martinez would have cost and the wages, etc. But we made a gamble on a 23-year-old goalkeeper from Antwerp who hadn't played in established top 5 leagues before, had all the underlying data, and we trusted the data. We trusted Tony Cotton, who's a chief goalkeeping scout, and we went for him over an established Premier League proven player. It goes to show you that the strategy doesn't have to exclusively be Premier League proven players. But for us to get it as right as we have with Senne, boy, has it made a difference to this team. Most notably against Everton, but I think that's now 2 games in the last 21 that we've lost since he's come into the team. And after just having zero confidence in our goalkeepers. Onana and Bayindir for what? 2 years? 2 and a bit years? Senne has made the world of difference in this team, so well done to the lad. But I want to take a minute here to speak, A, about Sesko, and B, speak about that goal. Because this here, ladies and gents, I've got to run through a few snapshots of this. Michael Carrick was correct to call this a perfect Manchester United counter-attacking goal. You've got Sesko here, lays the ball off to Luke Shaw. Note you've got Cunha there, and you've got Mbeumo, who's spotting the move. Let's fast forward a little bit. Cunha. That is not really something that we've seen too much from Cunha. It is an incredible ball. Right over the top, I think it was Michael Keane. And Mbeumo's making that run. The perfect run. Then watch Sesko from this position here, right? That's Sesko. That's Tarkowski. He's got 5-6 yards on him. Nah. See ya. Completely skins him. It was 13 seconds from front to back. There's Sesko in the middle and Mbeumo with the ball across. A lovely weighted pass. and a wonderful finish. It was a perfect counter-attacking Manchester United goal and the moment of sheer quality in a game which, let's be honest, didn't have enough of it. It wasn't a perfect game. Carrick was speaking about how tough it was. United weren't playing their best. In attack, we were messing up quite a few attacks with those final balls in. But it was 12 seconds between Sesko laying that ball off to Shaw to him putting the ball in the back of the net. And it was 1, 2, 3, 4 passes, 12 seconds, back to front. United score a blistering counter-attack. That move itself was vintage United. It was incredible. The pace from Sesko, the ball from Cunha, the pass from Mbeumo, 3 of United's new signings, all linking up together, right? Big up Stan Chow. Not Stan Chow, that's Stan Chow's artwork, by the way. And on top of those 3 combining for the goal, you've got Senne, who was man of the match. All 4 of United's summer signings really coming up clutch against Everton. It was a ruthless finish. Sesko has to start against Crystal Palace. I thought he should have started against Everton, to be honest. I thought Carrick made a mistake there. I think we can go down and speak about the lessons learned against the low block, but wonderful from Sesko and wonderful from United. And I'll tell you somebody else who I want to speak about is Cunha, man. I'm so glad that he is a United player. This moment stood out to me because, well, first of all, it was funny. Cunha had a real battle with Garner the entire game, and he's basically come out on top and said, yeah, suck on that. Cunha is a player who is fine being hated. He actually kind of thrives on it. He's happy to be a little bit of a shithouse, and we need that. We need villains. We need players who are happy to play the villain. We don't want players who just want to be loved by everybody, because it's not going to happen at United. Hated, adored, never ignored. To be successful at Manchester United, you have to be ready to be hated. Cunha has been since the beginning, and that is a mentality and approach that I hope infects every asset and every part of our team, because it's so necessary. So I'd love to see that. And the final note I want to say here is about Carrick and how we're approaching these low blocks. These last 2 games, I think we've learned quite a few things. Everton, they were pretty damn deep, certainly in that first half. And we didn't have the attacking guile on the wings to break it down. We weren't sending the balls into the box. I think if we come up against another low block this season, you might argue that Crystal Palace could be a low block, given how Glasner plays. Sesko should be starting, and I think we just need to get balls into the box. We learned that after West Ham, and we didn't really change it for Everton. Ultimately, we got the result, because Senne had an incredible game, and Sesko scored that incredible goal from the bench. But I think going forward, we have to approach these games slightly differently, because we're playing it too slow. We're not being able to break down that low block. And we're simply not putting enough balls into the box to try and break the status quo of those games. Ultimately, though, 6 games in, 5 wins, 1 draw. Carrick, we're learning a lot from Carrick's United. Different sorts of games, different sorts of wins. And against Everton, it was ugly, but it was a clean sheet and 3 points. Incredible from Senne, incredible counter-attack. It's just nice when United win, isn't it?